Learning now that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis does plan to formally launch his bid for the U.S. presidency. Of course, the presidential election here in the U.S. slated for November of 2024. Of course, he has to win his Republican Party's nomination in order to get down to that level. We're now starting to see the field shape up just now. Ryan Teague Beckwith joining us. He's Bloomberg reporter down in Washington, D.C. Ryan, of course, we already knew that Trump had thrown his hat into the ring. We know that Joe Biden, at least tentatively, is planning to run as well. Senator Tim Scott throwing his hat into the ring on the Republican side. And now Ron DeSantis, who most of us presumed a few months ago was going to be the front runner for the Republican nomination, set to make a formal announcement tomorrow.
Yes, that's right. I think he's still the front runner for the non-Trump position in the Republican primary, but that field has grown larger. I think we're seeing a lot more people like Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin have second thoughts about maybe running, maybe joining the field. The larger the field, of course, the easier it is for Trump to run away with it, as we saw in 2016.
Well, how formidable is Ron DeSantis to a Trump? Of course, like you said, he is maybe the front runner among the non-Trump contingent. But if this is the race for the Republican nomination between Trump and Ron DeSantis, I mean, how much of a chance really does DeSantis have?
I think he still has a good chance. He's shown that he has a lot of achievements for conservative voters. From his time as governor, he's used that bully pulpit extensively. I don't know if all of those things will help him down the road with general election voters, but they've all been very popular ideas among Republican voters.
Yeah.
And he does have the fundraising chops, and it's still early in the game. I don't think he's running away with it in the way that some of his supporters had hoped that he would. Trump remains a formidable frontrunner in the race.
Of course, yeah, he is going to be the elephant in the room until he decides to remove himself, Ryan. I am curious here about what Republican voters do want. We know that DeSantis has really sort of made his calling card, his national brand around pushing back against the so-called woke politics or woke companies here. Is that a policy or just an ideology?
I think it's more of a position. One of his ads positioned him as a fighter. And I think that his takeaway from Trump's success was that it wasn't so much what you were fighting about as the fact that you were fighting. And these culture war things have provided him with a sort of an easy target, something that he could make national news with fairly easily. There's not a lot of downside in a Republican-controlled state other than the sort of backlash to the Disney stuff. These are easy fights for him to win in Florida, and that gives him points on the board.